And the lighting is okay too? The lighting is okay? Yes. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Web CEO webinar for 2024, which will concentrate on Google Search Console and keyword research strategies. So welcome everyone. Let us have some time for some people to stroll in, and then I'll begin. And we're on the air. So. Okay, here's our agenda for today. Google Search Console's keyword traffic to your clients' websites. And then I'll show you how it works on our tools. So the Web CEO tools has a direct line into Google Search Console, and then into our keywords. We'll do keyword research using the Google Search Console, as well as I'll show you our Spy on Competitors tool and our Get Suggestions tool. And to start off, let's talk about Google Search Console. And what I'll do is I'll go into our tools. And here you have, for instance, a website called Email Tray. And these are in the Web CEO tools. And then over here, I have impressions from Google, and I have visits from Google. And let me say I'll sort the rank tracking report to show the impressions from Google, the highest to the lowest. So for instance, email notifier is a keyword that gets the most impressions, and it at least got the most impressions within the past 30 days. Now these 30 days was back in October, and so what I've done is I've frozen it in time. So this is a really good way. If you sort your rank reports by impressions, you'll be able to see the keywords that seem to be gathering the most attention of people to your website. And that could be more important than sorting by the actual local monthly searches for each keyword, because just because a lot of people search for a keyword doesn't mean they're going to find your website. If they're already finding your website, you've got a better deal going on there, because you can optimize for something that people are already seeing your website for, at least in impressions. Obviously, with Google Search Console, well, the impressions is basically means that somebody could have seen your website listed in the Google results, but maybe your result was below the fold, like down at number 9 or 10, and they didn't actually see your result. But Google says they did, and that's what they call an impression. And but that's okay. It's a very good number to work on. It's much better than the local monthly search number to find, especially if your website's been around for a little while. If it hasn't been around for a little while, then you might as well go for the local monthly searches, and then try hard to get some of those keywords. But always try to get keywords you're comfortable with, and go for keywords that are going to actually bring you money. But most important, go for keywords that you can compete for, because if it's too broad, even though it could bring you a lot of money, if the odds are you're not going to make the top 10, then go for a niche. Go for something a lot more narrow than you're thinking about. And one way to go more niche is to actually pick the area where you're in, because if you're selling something, or if you're offering a service, most of the time you're going to want the local area people anyway, or at least you're going to want to start off by securing the people within a 300-mile radius as your local target market. And then as you grow, you can become an international company. But the key to SEO is to score for something, and to score quickly for something if you want to start getting business and getting traffic. And so anyway, here then I have email notifier, email programs, and this is for Google Search Console. Now I'll show you more about how that works. If I go to the keyword research tool itself, and I go to the top queries. Now here, this is an old connection, and I'm not going to reconnect it right now. So this is from October. And what this shows is it's sorting by impressions. And then you have, this is the results that I was showing you. And if you want to actually start rank tracking for some of these keywords, what you do is you would click this little flag orange. So like the keyword email simple doesn't sound like I want to have it used, but email client for Windows 7, also Windows 7 is getting old. But yeah, maybe I'll say that. So that's a new keyword. Now, obviously Google Search Console not only gives organic click information, but also impressions. They also give an average position. Now this is not a very good number. You're better off using Web CEO to get an actual local real-time result for your area. But anyway, in general, that's a very good. This website, Email Trade, does very well for the word email client for Windows 7. On average, when people search, it's in the 6th position. Mail notifier, that sounds good. So then I would click the little flag orange, and you click the flag orange whenever you want to start like email filtering, when you want to start rank tracking. Now, if you just want to put it in your basket, like your keyword baskets, which I'll show you, you just you click on this little plus sign, and that adds the keyword to your keyword basket. But we added the flag so that you can click that orange. We added that because most people want to go straight to tracking that keyword in terms of rankings. And so I just added a couple there, and then so if I go back to rank tracking, my site rankings, you'll see that we're looking now at new keywords. So I'll rescan right now. I'm using Agency Unlimited, and so now it's going to rescan for today, and it's going to find the actual results for Chicago, Illinois desktops. And when I do settings here, I'll show this certain type of result, and actually most everything is being shown. We're now showing people also ask results, as well as the local packs and all that. And then I've just added the new brands mentioning, so I'll save that, and that will show those results as well. And so I've just shown you how to add Google Search Console results. Now, if I want to show you something else, let me show you that we have another tool, which would be called that's the Queries tab, right? And then there's another tab. Spy on competitors. Okay, so I'll go to Spy on competitors, and so I'll go back to keyword research, and then on Spy on competitors, I'll choose a competitor, in this case mail.com, and then I'm looking for suggestions for mail.com. What type of keywords have they optimized their website for? And in this case, they've optimized. Well, I'll also sort by the global monthly searches for their keywords, and they're really trying to optimize for the word free mailbox, and that's a good one. And so I'll add the little flag. I'll click the flag orange there, and so now I'm going to start rank tracking for free mailbox as well. After all, 6 million people around the world check for free mailbox, and emailtrade.com is, basically is a program that's a free mailbox, and I'll look for another one here that looks good that our competitors are using, and most of it is we're not. Like mail.com gives your own email address, and that's not what Email Trade does. But actually, this is not a good example because I only found one. So let me take another example. Here's a clean email. Okay, so now clean.email is a competitor of, and the competitor talks about free mailbox, Gmail inbox. That's a good one. Okay, and so I'll actually then start to check rankings for Gmail inbox as well. So basically, you can put any competitor you want here, and you'll see the keywords that we've found. The website your competitor is actually optimizing their website for, and then when you see that, then you say, hey, that's a great idea. And look at the number of global monthly searches. 4 million people are looking for Gmail inbox. So you can get great ideas from your competitors in terms of what keywords to use. Now then there's Get Suggestions. Now in Get Suggestions, basically you type in a word like email client, and then you can get a global search result or a local search result, like for the United States, and then what language. And we're picking English, and this is also now sorted by the global monthly searches. And for anyone who types in email client, the various people that do search for email client, they also search for these. And we get this mostly through the Keyword Planner program, the API from Google for Keyword Planner. But we also sometimes use autocomplete. An example of autocomplete is when someone types in email client, the autocomplete says email application download or email client best, right? And that shows up in the autocomplete. And so we've added that as well. So it's not just Keyword Planner that we're getting these suggestions from, but we're also using autocomplete and a few other sources. So email client best, I've just added as a keyword to check rankings for. And so you can keep changing this. One thing you can do is you can like best mail app. That's another one. If I want to change the overall keyword, I can just click here, best mail app, and it'll completely start checking for best mail app. It's a really good way to work. That way you don't have to keep typing in keywords. You just click on the keyword and then it automatically rechecks and gets suggestions for that particular word. So you can really drill down that way. And yeah, so you can spend a lot of time in the WebSEO keyword research tools. And here's interesting. Best Android email app. If you're using an Android, yes, you start rank tracking for that. Best Android mail client, sure. Let's say in this case, I'll just add that to the keyword basket, though. I don't want to check rankings for that yet. But yeah, there are a lot of great keywords like best email app for Android and best Android mail. Should have said best Android mail app, but oh yeah, best mail program for Android. Let's see. And since Email Tray has an Android version, and then it has a global monthly searches over 9,000, by doing keyword research, I found keywords that weren't added and they should have been, and that's really important, because if you don't use the WebSEO keyword research tool, you'll probably be missing out on a lot of great keywords. So I really recommend that you use Get Suggestions, Spy on Competitors, and of course the top queries, which brings in the Search Console information. And I could upload this at any time, but for the purposes of this demonstration, I will not do that. And I recommend sorting by impressions, but sometimes you're going to sort by average position, because you want to find out what are you getting the #1 position for. And one reason why you'd want to do that is because if you're already getting a lot of traffic for one keyword and you're in the #1 position, if you optimize your website differently, you may automatically cannibalize your traffic. So you want to know ahead of time what your traffic is before you do major changes. And I'm referring to an old website, not a new website. So if you have an old website and you don't have Search Console, I highly recommend it. It's not only this function of providing the clicks and impressions for each keyword that people have used to find your site, but Search Console also does a number of other great things. It has its own, similar to ours, site audits. So it's not as comprehensive as ours, but it does check things like page speed and it looks for broken links, and also it helps you disavow backlinks. So our backlink, I'll show you how our backlink tool helps you disavow backlinks through Search Console. But the important thing to know is that if you have Google Search Console, you'll be able to disavow backlinks, and so I'll show you that shortly. But right now, I'm letting you know that you don't have to just sort by impressions. You can sort your Google's Search Console data by average position, and in that case, you'll know particular keywords that you're definitely getting the #1 position for, and so that will help you know whether or not to continue or to completely revamp your site optimization, all your meta tags, and then go for other keywords, because if these keywords may not be the ones that are bringing you money. So yeah, well, talking about Search Console, let me quickly go to the backlink profile, and I'll show you how to check my backlinks and the disavow list. So if I show you the backlinks for Email Tray, it says that 1,132 backlinks were found. Well, that was when it was last checked. I can recheck now. So this was 223 days ago. I'll recheck now. And by the way, I could have only said just show me 10 backlinks only 10 backlinks from each domain, or only 3 backlinks from each domain. And the reason why you'd want to do that is because sometimes you have a backlink on every single page of a website, and especially like if you're a digital agency, you don't want to know all your backlinks, because it's going to include every single page of every client that you have. It's just going to be a headache to have a comprehensive list of every single page of every client that you have, and that's mixed in with all your other backlinks. In this case now, I've got something like 815 backlinks, and usually I sort them by the URL trust flow. to show what the best backlinks are that you have. These are good backlinks, but if I check for toxic backlinks, I'm sure there'd be some to be found these days. And in this case, no. So this website is doing well without backlink. But let's see, the disavow list is empty too. For the purposes of the meeting, let's make a backlink temporarily a bad backlink. So I'm going to add this entire domain to the, it's not going to hurt it, the disavow domain. So I've disavowed this domain, okay? Now I'm going to go to the disavow tool, and it's going to be listed here along with other ones that I might have decided to disavow. And I will highlight this, and now I will, once I highlight it and I know I'm going to disavow this link, then I can go ahead and generate my disavow file. So I'm generating disavow file right now, and it creates a file on my computer. And this is what the file looks like. It's a disavow file. It says pound created on May 30th, 2024, domain, colon, and then this forum in France. And it would list a whole bunch more. I do recommend disavowing entire domains. People used to just disavow individual pages, but scamming websites are just going to skim. You know, they're going to put up a bad a link to you on another page. So if you know people are dishonest and they're not good, just go ahead and disavow their entire domain to Google. So let's say I have a whole list here, and this file does exist, and I can use this now. Go to your disavow tool. This takes you into Search Console. Now I'm not going to go any further, but if you have Search Console set up at this point, you can go further and you can go ahead and disavow, and it will give you instructions on how to disavow. But one of the beauties of Search Console is that you can now disavow, and every time you disavow, send a disavow, it's going to write over the previous one, which is why I recommend having your previous disavow list, your file, handy, because sometimes these days, if you disavow an entire website, a spammy website, then they, well, maybe they're only featuring you 5 months out of the year, and the other 7 months they're not featuring you. And that way, if you disavow them, but like 6 months later you disavow, do a disavow list again, well, they're no longer linking to you, so you don't disavow them this time. But then they pop up a couple months later, and you haven't disavowed that list. So because you've written over your previous list. So I recommend, if you have really spammy things, then every time you create a disavow list, like I just did, go back to your old disavow list and add the previous domains that you've disavowed. And it's really easy, just cut and paste. And when you do that, then you can click your disavow tool, and it takes you into Google Search Console, and then go ahead and disavow. That way, you're going to catch the tricky, spammy websites. And but other than that, Google likes the fact that you're disavowing stuff. In this case, though, I'm not doing so. In fact, I'm actually undisavow this, remove from disavow list, because that's a good page, that's a good website, and there's no reason to disavow it. And I haven't disavowed it. And I just showed you how you could have disavowed it if you wanted to. So keep in mind the Google Search Console is really important for helping you disavow bad backlinks, which you should do at least once a year or twice a year, and that tells Google that you're conscientious and you're looking out for their interests and your interests, and you're not trying to get bad backlinks, and you're telling Google, we disavow this, and that's very powerful. And but also, yeah, finding the most important thing for Search Console, in your case, because you can use our site audit tools, you would use Search Console to find the keywords that are bringing traffic to your website, or at least, of course, bringing impressions to your website, because Google only measures organic traffic, organic clicks, and there are so many other types of results, like people also ask in Google Maps and images, and people can be clicking into your website from so many different ways, and Google only shows you, the Google Search Console only shows you the organic clicks, and that's kind of silly. I think that will change in the near future, because organic clicks aren't the only clicks, and they could measure the other clicks as well. So I would recommend basically going with the impressions number, and once you know that a certain keyword is getting a lot of impressions, then you can decide, well, yeah, well, if it's getting a lot of impressions and I'm only position number 38, I can work on my optimization and bring that keyword up into the top 10, and then you can get impressions off the charts if you move from ranking position number 38 into the top 10. And so we highly recommend that. And you can do that all in the keyword research tool. And yeah, and keep it up to date, of course. I can reauthorize this, but I won't do it for for this current webinar. So would there be any questions at the moment? I have a thing here where the questions can come in. So please anyone ask a nice question or whatever about Search Console or everything. For instance, or you can ask about any other Web SEO tool as well. I mean, now that I've got a webinar going, we haven't had a webinar. I haven't been on a webinar since last November, Thanksgiving. So some of the people on the webinar right now could be asking questions about other tools as well as the keyword research. But I often spend a lot of time with customers working on the top queries, and of course we reauthorize the account. By the way, let me do that now. I will reauthorize this account if I'm still qualified for it. And so it's going to check again if I'm qualified for it. Now, one thing I wanted to show you, if I am still qualified, there are certain things you do with Google authorization. One of the things to do is if it doesn't authorize, one of the things you may have to do is go into settings and the settings of actually the traffic analysis. Actually, let me go to traffic analysis right now, and I'll go to Google Search Console. This is the main place where you would set things up. And top queries, all pages. And then there's a thing called revoke. So you go into the settings and you can revoke your access. So this would be my access to the email tray. And right, this is my access to email tray. And if I have access, then it'll show up. But if it doesn't, you revoke the access, and then you set things up again by, even if you see your email address there, you go ahead and just reauthorize a new Google account. Even if your account is listed, you reauthorize it. But that's not our fault, that's Google's fault. They've got to really, this is a strange thing. So I'm basically telling you a life hack about how to use Google to set up a Search Console account, especially through an API into another program like Web SEO. And that is authorize a new Google account. If you have to, if you can't get through, authorize a new Google account, and that's no problem once you do that. And yeah, so right now, I'm trying to. Also, another thing, when in doubt, hit refresh. That's another life hack. For most of our tools will automatically do what we ask, and for instance, the backlinks come in very, very quickly with us, and rank tracking does as well, unless it's the first day of the month or even like the final day of the month. That would be tomorrow, right? And rank tracking might take a few more minutes than usual, but most everything on our site just is rapid fire. This isn't our fault though. This would be Google. This would be Google authorization for something that hasn't been authorized in over 6 months, and I might not have authorization at the moment for this particular website, which I haven't been logging into. But that's an important thing to let you know about. And so let me go back to keyword research and get suggestions. Let me check the files coming in. And yeah, so get suggestions. Let me see anything cool I can tell you about get suggestions. Oh, I know an idea, yeah. Well, there's another way to get suggestions well, actually, let me show you something important here. Once you do know what keyword you want to have a page optimized for, what you do is you go to landing page SEO, and then let me rescan for this page. And what you do is it says here, well, you can add keywords. And what I've done is I've gone to edit page. And it's a site structure has to be redone. Yeah, for that, it's all outdated. But with keyword research, you have like the word email, spam, client, sort, and inbox. And we can tell you if your homepage or any page on your website, in this case, it's the homepage, we can tell you if you have that word in the title. And so email is used twice in the title and once in the client. And so the word client is used also in the title, but inbox is not in the title. Also, the word inbox is not in the H1. So that's a problem. So if I go to this website, email tray, there it is. And if I look at the title, it says email tray and email client and email notifier for Windows and Android. It says nothing about inbox. That's a huge mistake because here's a question coming in regarding keyword research. What is more important, the KEI or monthly search numbers? Very good question. Okay, so coming in, a question. Let me just finish this one though. we have now learned that we do not have the word inbox in, and then this is probably the H1. We can make sure by looking at the page source. Control F1 and then H1 here. Okay, so the H1 says free email client. Okay, nothing about inbox. One intelligent work area for all of your Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, and POP3. Okay, accounts. Nothing about inbox. So what I've just learned here is that I've got a big problem because inbox is a really big, in terms of my keyword research, the word inbox is really important. People use inbox probably more than they use the word client. I can go back and check. But one thing I've learned now is I would go back right now, if I owned Email Tray, I would go in there and I would edit the homepage title and H1 and other parts like the the alt tags and everything, and I would edit that for the word inbox. I just add the word inbox, and you have to do this all the time. You have to constantly, as you realize what words are being used to find your site and what money words, what words attract the people who are going to actually give you money. And so in this case, yeah, the word inbox is something that I should change my HTML for, and change the title and the H1 tag. Now, also, the word email is used too many times, and it's 8%. It should only be 3% or less. And so this website is probably getting dinged on Google because it's spamming the word email, and it doesn't, and it shouldn't. I'd recommend just making the body bigger, like adding more content to the body, and that will bring maybe the word email down to 3% or less. So going to Ms. Landis's great question. She asked about keyword research and what is more important, KEI or monthly search numbers. So let me go back to keyword research, and here I don't have KEI on my column. So let me actually add the KEI column. So I had it unchecked, but now let me check it, and I have it now as the first column. There's a drag and drop function, and yeah, and so actually I have global KEI way over here on the left hand side now. I can drag and drop, but anyway, yeah, this is actually quite high if I sort by the best KEI, and it's best Android email app. Now, what is KEI? Well, KEI is the global monthly searches divided by a bid coefficient that we've created. It's based on sometimes on the average cost per click in a way, but it's a little bit more complicated. But yeah, so it's basically 20 divided by 0.72. That equals 19 or whatever. But there's other things involved. Now, the best Android email app. What this means is that there are so many searches for it, but people aren't paying for it. They're only paying 72 cents. Well, that's a lot actually, but there's so many searches that paying 72 cents. People are willing to pay 72 cents, and that's not enough competition. And that means that if you did SEO for the word best Android email app, you'd have a better chance, because it may be that fewer people are out there, psychologically, fewer people are out there trying to optimize their meta tags and their websites for best Android email app. So the higher the KEI, the better idea for you to try to optimize a web page for it, because if your KEI is like 0 or 0.001, that means that everybody and their brother and their grandmother are trying to optimize their website for that keyword, and it's just going to be too hard for you to score. And so KEI, I would say, is more important. The answer to your question, Ms. Landis, is that KEI is more important than well, yeah, it is more important. However, if there's 0 global monthly searches, then maybe it's not. So I think you've actually asked me that a couple of days ago, and we were talking about that. Yeah, and it's a very good question. You have to have some global monthly searches, but if you've got like a nice 50 to 100 monthly searches for a certain keyword, or even 30 or 40 searches per month, then once you have that, that's when the KEI becomes more important. So for a keyword that gets at least 30 searches per month, and against other websites that have 30 searches per month, high KEI is a good bet. Even if you're up against other keywords that have a whole lot more global monthly, if you've got a KEI of 16 and only 40 searches per month, and the other is a KEI of 0.01, but they have 8,000 searches per month, go for the high KEI and get found for those 50 to 100 searches per month, because you're going to get found. You're operating as a big fish in a small pond, and with that keyword, and so I'd recommend doing that. And yeah, so if you have, and so I remember your website, Ms. Landis, and yes, go for the KEI as long as there's some monthly searches above 20, let's say. But yeah, if there's no monthly searches, I would say go for something that actually does get monthly searches. And so is there another question? We're 30 minutes in. And you can ask about anything about the backlinks as well, any tool. And you go to traffic analysis, Google Search Console. Oh, good. Okay, so this is now updated to May 30th. So I am still authorized for email tray. I didn't think I wasn't, but just in case, I didn't want the demo to go and then find out I wasn't authorized. So here it is, I'm authorized, and yeah, and so this is the new list and sorted by impressions, and anything new. Yeah, look at this, email software programs. So the website started to do well for the keyword email software programs in the past 6 months. And oh, I have another nice question coming in, and looking over in my other device here, I'm checking another nice question coming in. So notice then when you keep your Search Console updated, more stuff comes in, and that's why you really should check it once a week, because you'll be getting, well, at least every 30 days, because we, by the way, Search Console allows you to check traffic for the past 30 days, also for the past 90 days, for the past, and then it goes for the past 16 months. So you can't get a direct Search Console for 12 months, but you can customize it for 12 months. But the maximum is 16 months of data. And Google, but WebCEO only shows you the past 30 days. So here's the next question coming in. Can you review the task list for as well? Talk about what is important and what to do first in a task list. Right. Okay. Well, I think she's talking about the program, the WebCEO tasks. And if I go into the WebCEO tasks, then you want to sort it by a filter. Now these filters are filtered by done. So this, I can use this, but this is also from September 22. So let me do a filter, and I'm going to say filter type and status to do. And now I'm going to add that to do apply. And now it's showing me fresh stuff. Okay, so this is, and by the way, see this little auto thing? When I do a fresh scan, like a fresh site audit, it takes individual tasks and it automatically puts them into the to-do list. So I actually now have to shorten the title tag in order to then say, yeah, I've done that, and then I can say done. So that's a very good question. When I went in there, it was all sorted by done. If that happens with you, go to the filter and change the status from done to do, and that way you're going to actually see the task that you can do. And then yeah, and so these are tasks to do, and this is for me. I'm not logged into your account, Ms. Landis, but this would be for the email tray, and there's a lot to do for email tray. And what's another question coming in? And can you review the task list? Okay, another one. Can you review the tasks? What is the best way to get some assistance starting from scratch with this? Oh, okay, John. Great question. A great way to get assistance is to go direct with me online. So we won't go online with you fresh right now, but in an hour you can depending on my schedule. I think it's open though. Go to the website, WebCEO, or actually no. See here, need training, book it now. When you're logged into the WebCEO tools, click need training, book it now. If you're a free user, you'll get Costas, my colleague. He's working now. Otherwise, if you're a user with a full startup or agency unlimited plan or a corporate plan, then click here and you'll get me. So if you're a real user, a paid user, well, you're all real users, but you'll get me, and if I click here, I'll show you like when I'm available, and I think I'm available today. Oh no, I'm not, but I can open it up. Yeah, I because of the webinar, I just said okay, nothing more today, and that's okay though, because I can open it up and it will open up for today and give you appointments for today. Also for tomorrow. Let's when we go to no times in May. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll have to open up tomorrow as well. But yeah, so Monday, June 3rd, and all these times are available, and just click on one of them and you can talk with me or talk with Costas depending on your status, and yeah, so you can get a full hour meeting, just like the webinar itself. So there's no difference. Our voices are the same, and we put as much effort really into it. So I'll give you me or Costas will give you full attention onto your webpage, onto your website, and we'll just do a thorough going over of your website or websites if you're an agency. Now, if you're an agency, there's so much more we can show you, because there's reporting to be done, and also you can do white label with us, which means you can have you can show on like people can log in and they can see the reports online without. So let me show you another question coming in. Yeah, so I'll go back to the main agenda now, and I'll leave tasks and I'll go back to rank tracking. Sorry, keyword research. And yeah, so now I'm back in the top queries, and now the top queries are going to reflect the fresh May 30th results. And click on impressions, and yeah, email software programs. So I'll start checking that now. And so any other questions coming in? So yeah, every single person out there, you can get a free one-on-one discussion anytime, more than once. Oh, simple email client. Yes, click on that. I'll check the rankings for that. Free email software, sure. See, this is all coming in the past 6 months, and we're getting impressions for it. I mean, the emailtrade.com is getting impressions for it, and that's now. If you go to rank tracking, I'll show you the. Oh, I added these keywords right now. I have to actually scan them. Now, here's an interesting thing when we have the tags column for this, and so I'm going to say, okay, who are my competitors? Well, one way to find out your competitors is you go to dangerous competitors, and in this case, for all of those keywords that I'm checking, the most serious competitor is Microsoft, and then comes clean.email with a visibility score of 11. So this field has very low visibility scores, and email tray is down here with a visibility score of 1. And I'll show you the reason why clean gets the highest, 11. Because best email client, they're number 2. Free email client, they're number 1. All the way down to email filtering, they're number 6. So they're doing a very good job of SEO. And so we're considering them the competitor. However, if I want to get a more filtered version to find maybe I want to narrow down, then maybe I'm only going to look for the word software. So let me add the word software, and I search for it. Now for the keywords, refer to the word software. Email software programs, free email software, email software. So I'm going to highlight all of these, and I'm going to give them a tag. I'm going to assign a tag for all of those, and I'm going to say, let's call this the software tag. So software, apply, and now I'm going to go back to dangerous competitors, and I say, who are my competitors just for the word software? So I'm going to do a filter, and I'm going to do a filter for the word software, and apply. Okay, now I only want to know the results for who competes with email tray for keywords that have the word software in them. And then yeah, so Zapier wins for that, and then Contact Monkey, and the reason why is I show you they're scoring for email software number 5, email management software Outlook number 7. Mail Modo is scoring for the word email software. They're number 3. Okay, and that's why they're doing so well. And yeah, so clean email falls down. And that might not be the best example, but one thing I did just show you is how to use filters. And one way, for instance, if you're an agency and you're located in Toledo, Ohio, and I did only show you the keyword searching for those, then if you filter only for the keywords that say the word Toledo in them, then you're going to probably end up with top competitors listed as other agencies that are in Toledo. You call those your competitors. And once you know who your competitors are, one thing you want to do then is go to backlink profile, go to competitor link profile, and and then you have to add those competitors. In this case, we know it's Clean Email, Zapier, and Mail. And we find out how many backlinks they have, in which case they have a lot. But once you know, like you have 1,300 backlinks and Clean Email has 10,000, well, you want those 10,000. You want those people who are linking to Clean Email to also link to Email Tray. So one thing you do is you go to Competitor Backlink Spy, and you and here you would do the settings only for Clean Email. Let's just do it for Clean Email with a limit of 3. Yeah, okay, good. And yeah, so Clean Email has this backlink, and yeah, and so you go to the website that's linking to Clean Email, and then they have a link to them here somewhere, and then you decide if they can link to you as well, and maybe they can. And so the Competitor Backlink Spy is a great way. Once you know who your competitors are, you try to basically spy on them for which backlinks they have, and then go to those pages that are backlinking, and then get them to backlink to you as well. And so I'll go back to keyword research here again, and checking for more questions at the moment. And I'll also show you something. I found competitors by domain, but there's also, you can find competitors according to which pages are competing with you. So if I type in email client, and for email client, the top 9 web pages for the word email client would be, well, Zapier is the number 1. Number 2 is Tech Radar, best email clients. Now these aren't your competitors, okay? They're just the web pages that score best for the keyword. So actually they are your competitors because they're beating you for the keyword. Email client, you can tell there's very few actual email clients that are listed. Actually, that's not true. Thunderbird is a competitor. So you would click the little flag orange, and that means that you've listed Thunderbird as your competitor. And then of course there's clean.email, and that is a competitor. And so you have that listed as a competitor as well. And Zapier you have listed as a competitor. And so you can find competitors that way by finding. Now once you know a page is competing best for you, you can back engineer it and figure out what did they do in their tags to make it the best. And so in this case, the 7 best email clients is their H1, and their title is the 7 best email clients. So it's the same thing. And they're scoring for the word email client because those are their title and H1, and you can see what else they've written as well. And once you realize for the certain keyword what scores the best, then you can basically kind of do a copycat. But that's not necessarily the reason why they're number 1. There's also other things, such as the number of actual backlinks that go to that particular page, in which case you can find that here in the competing pages section. Something else, okay, finally, one thing, I'll bring this to a close. I want to show you something else really important, and that is if you go to the landing page SEO section, one thing that I showed you as an example in landing page SEO, this is fresh, is the internal link text. Now you have the word email client 16 times going from other pages on the website back to the home page 16 times. Now what does that mean? Well, that's probably because the logo has text associated with it. So if I actually go to the website, Email Tray, and I go to another page on the site, if there is one. Bad example, I think. Maybe there's, yeah, the download section. Okay. Now I go back and I hit email tray as the logo. The logo's name would be email tray logo.png. All right. Go to the page source and look for that logo. Logo.png here. Okay. Alt equals email tray. That's a mistake right there. The alt tag is can be changed to alt equals email client. And well, add a couple more words like email client, notifier, inbox, for email. No, sorry, not email tray. Email inbox, free email software, right? So free, just email software. Maybe use the word free. Put in client, inbox. Those are major keywords, and you want to put those in the alt tag of the logo that goes from every other page on your website back to your home page. And yeah, so with that advice, I'll close it up. And hope to see all of you by clicking on Need Training, book it now, and I'll meet all of you soon and give you a specialized, customized training. If you're a free user, Costas is ready to also do the same, give you a free, customized advice basically, and how to use, not only how to use the tools, but what you can do with your own website or websites to do a lot better. Even if you don't buy the tools, you can learn from us what to how to really improve a lot of your websites or your website. Thank you very much. I appreciate your showing up today at the webinar.